The Sunday lunch was at Dad's house, a monthly tradition he'd insisted on maintaining after Mom died. My sister Victoria came with her husband, Paul, and their 3 kids. I came alone, as always. Victoria had dressed her children like they were attending a garden party. 10-year-old Emma wore a dress with a designer label visible at the collar. The twins, both 7, were in matching outfits that probably cost more than my monthly grocery bill. "Angela," Victoria said when she saw me. "You're wearing that?" I looked down at my jeans and sweater. "It's Sunday lunch. It's family lunch. Some of us make an effort." Dad was setting the table when we arrived. He'd ordered food from the Italian place, same as always. Victoria immediately started rearranging things, moving plates, adjusting the centerpiece. "Dad, you really should get proper china. This everyday stuff is so pedestrian." "It works fine," Dad said. "For every day, but we're family. We should have standards." Paul was checking his phone, barely paying attention. The kids had scattered to the living room, their devices out. I helped Dad carry food from the kitchen: pasta, salad, bread. Simple, good, enough. "How's work?" Dad asked me. "Busy?" "Good. Still doing that real estate thing?" "Property management, yes." Victoria overheard. "Oh, were you still with that company? I thought that was temporary." "It's been 8 years. 8 years in the same job? That's so stagnant." Paul's already had 3 promotions in that time. Paul looked up briefly, nodded, then went back to his phone. We sat down to eat, Dad at the head, Victoria and Paul on one side with the kids, me on the other side alone. Victoria served her children first, cutting Emma's pasta and reminding the twins to use napkins. She was performing motherhood like there was an audience watching. "So, Dad," she said, "we're planning the summer schedule. We'll take the lake house for July. Obviously, the kids love it there. Then maybe the mountain place in August before school starts." Dad nodded. "Sounds nice. And we're thinking of doing Christmas at the beach house this year. Start a new tradition. The kids are old enough now to really appreciate it." I took a bite of pasta and said nothing. The lake house, the mountain cabin, the beach house. 3 properties I bought over the past 6 years, investments, rentals, appreciating assets, all in my name, all managed through my company. And all used freely by Victoria and her family, who believed Dad owned them. 6 years ago, Dad had called me worried. "Victoria's asking about vacation properties. Says all her friends have them. She wants to know why we don't. I can't afford anything like that on my retirement." "Don't worry about it," I'd said. I bought the lake house first, a foreclosure that needed work, but it had good bones and an excellent location. 2 hours north, right on the water. I renovated it, furnished it, made it beautiful. Then I gave Dad a key and told him it was for family use. Let Victoria believe whatever she wanted about who owned it. She'd assumed it was Dad's, maybe an inheritance he'd never mentioned, maybe savings he'd kept quiet. She'd never asked directly, just started using it. Posting photos on social media, our lake house. Family tradition, blessed. 2 years later, I bought the mountain cabin, ski area, beautiful views, another foreclosure I renovated. Gave Dad another key. Victoria had been thrilled. 2 vacation properties. She told all her friends, showed pictures, called it the family's mountain retreat. Last year, the beach house. Coastal property, harder to afford, but I'd saved and invested well. Same pattern, key to Dad. Victoria's assumption of ownership. 3 properties. Total value now around $2 million, all producing rental income when Victoria's family wasn't using them. All in my name alone. "The lake house is getting so nice," Victoria was saying now. "I've been thinking we should upgrade the dock, maybe get a bigger boat." Paul's been looking at pontoon boats. "Those are expensive," Dad said carefully. "But it's an investment in the property, makes it more valuable." "I'm not sure." "Dad, you have to maintain these places properly. That's ownership 101. Emma, the 10-year-old, was watching me eat. "Mommy, why does Aunt Angela eat so fast?" "Because she has no manners," Victoria said lightly. "Some people don't learn proper dining etiquette." "Why not?" "Different priorities. Different education. Some people focus on money, others on refinement." Paul actually laughed at that. I continued eating. "Aunt Angela," Emma said loudly, "do you have a vacation house?" "No," I said. "Why not? Don't you have money?" Victoria smiled. "Emma, not everyone can afford nice things." Aunt Angela works very hard, but she's not at our level financially. That's okay. Everyone has their place. Dad shifted uncomfortably. Victoria. What? It's true. Angela's always been the struggling one. We're just blessed to have done better. The twins were watching now, learning. Mommy says you're poor, one of them announced. Oliver, Victoria said, but she was smiling. That's not polite, but you did say it. You said Aunt Angela is poor and that's why she doesn't have nice clothes or a nice car or vacation houses. I said she has different resources, which is true. Emma stood up suddenly. Mommy, if Aunt Angela is poor, should she be sitting with us? Victoria paused. What do you mean, sweetie? You said poor people should stand while we eat. Remember? You said rich people sit and poor people stand, like servants. The room went very quiet. Victoria's face flushed. Emma, I didn't mean. That was a different conversation. But you did say it. You said in the old days, rich people sat and servants stood. And that's how it should be. That's the natural order. She turned to me, her voice loud. Mom says poor people should stand while we eat. So you should stand up, Aunt Angela. That's the rule. Everyone was staring. Dad looked horrified. Paul looked amused. Victoria looked caught between embarrassment and something else. Then Paul started clapping, slow, deliberate applause. Out of the mouths of babes. Kids got a point. Social hierarchy exists for a reason. The twins started clapping too, copying their father. Then Victoria joined in, hesitantly at first, then with more confidence. Emma clapped the loudest, proud of herself. Dad's voice was quiet. That's enough. Oh, come on, Paul said. It's just a joke. She's right, though, Victoria said, her voice stronger now. There are levels. Some people sit at the table. Some people serve. That's just reality. Angela's never going to have what we have. She works for a property management company. We own properties. There's a difference. Dad put down his fork. Victoria, this is inappropriate. Is it? Or is it just honest? You've always been the struggling one, Angela. Living in that apartment, driving that old car, working that mediocre job. Meanwhile, we're building wealth, creating legacy. Emma's right. There are people who sit and people who stand. It's not cruel. It's just the truth. She's right, Dad said suddenly. Everyone turned to look at him. What? Victoria asked. Emma, she's right. Dad's face was hard. About hierarchy. About knowing your place. Angela, maybe you should stand. I looked at my father, at his face, closed and cold, teaching his grandchildren that some people deserved seats and others didn't. I stood up. Victoria smiled, triumphant. I picked up my bag, walked to the door, and left. No one called after me. I could hear Paul laughing as I closed the door. In my car, I made 3 phone calls. First, to the property management company that handled my rentals. Lock changes needed on all 3 properties. Tonight. Emergency rate is fine. Second, to the same company. Remove access for all current key holders except the primary owner, me, effective immediately. Third, to my lawyer. I need formal trespass notices drafted for 3 properties. By 8 that evening, all 3 properties had new locks. The lake house, the mountain cabin, the beach house. All secured. I drafted an email to Victoria and Paul. Effective immediately, you no longer have access to the properties at 847 Lakeshore Drive, 2341 Mountain View Road, or 619 Coastal Highway. These properties are privately owned, and you are not authorized to enter. The locks have been changed. Any attempt to access them will be considered trespassing. All belongings can be retrieved by appointment through my lawyer. I attached the property deeds, all 3, all in my name, purchased in 2018, 2020, and 2023. I hit send. My phone started ringing at 6 in the morning, Victoria's number. I let it go to voicemail. Finally, a text. The lake house is locked. What did you do? I didn't respond. At 8, Dad called. I answered. Angela, what's going on? Victoria called, hysterical. She can't get into the lake house. They drove up last night, and the locks were changed. That's correct. Why would the locks be changed? Because I changed them. It's my property. Silence. Then, your property? I own the lake house, and the mountain cabin, and the beach house. All 3. I bought them. They're in my name. I gave you keys so you could use them. But I never gave Victoria permission. She just assumed. You own them? All 3? Yes. But Victoria thinks she's been telling everyone they're family properties. They're my properties, that I allowed family to use, past tense. Angela, she has plans. The kids were supposed to spend the weekend at the lake. Then she should have thought about that before applauding her daughter's statement that I should stand while they eat. More silence. That was Emma being the child. That was Emma repeating exactly what Victoria taught her. That there are people who sit and people who stand. That I'm poor and should know my place. You agreed, Dad. You told me to stand. I was joking. You weren't, and neither was Victoria. They genuinely believe I'm beneath them, the struggling sister. Someone who should stand while they sit. They didn't mean it that way. They meant it exactly that way. Victoria said it herself. There are people who sit and people who stand. Well, there are also people who own vacation properties and people who just use them without asking questions. You can't just lock them out. Victoria's been planning July at the lake for months. Victoria can plan whatever she wants, just not at my lake house. Be reasonable. I am being reasonable. I'm securing my private property, funded by my so-called mediocre job that Victoria thinks makes me poor. Victoria sent a long text later. You're being childish. Yes, Emma said something inappropriate, but you're punishing our entire family because you're sensitive about money. These properties have been family properties for years. You can't just take them away because your feelings got hurt. The kids are devastated. Everyone knows about our summer at the lake. You're embarrassing us. I wrote back, those properties were never family properties. They were my properties that I allowed you to use. You called me poor. You said I should stand while you eat. You applauded when your child told me to know my place. Now you know yours. My properties. My decision. Final. She responded, this is theft. Those properties belong to the family. Check the deeds I sent. My name only. Purchased with my money. Paul called from a different number. I answered. Angela, this is ridiculous. Those houses are worth what, $2 million? You can't actually own them. Property management people don't make that kind of money. Property management company owners do, especially when they manage their own portfolio of rentals. You own a company? Yes, for 8 years. I manage 73 rental properties, including my own investments. The 3 vacation properties generate about $12,000 a month in rental income when not being used by family. Silence. Victoria said you were poor. Victoria sees someone who drives a practical car and wears jeans and assumes poverty. She never asked about my actual finances, just made assumptions. The lake house alone is worth $700,000. I bought it for $350 as a foreclosure and put in $80,000 in renovations. Now it's worth $800,000. The mountain cabin I got for $270, put in $50 in updates. Now worth $600,000. The beach house was $500,000, needed minor work, now worth $650. Total portfolio value, about $2 million, plus 70 other properties I manage. Jesus. Tell Victoria her belongings at all 3 properties are being inventoried. She can schedule pickup through my lawyer. And Paul, next time someone tells me to stand while you eat, maybe check who owns the vacation houses first. I hung up. Dad called that evening. Victoria wants to apologize. I'm sure she does. She didn't understand about the properties. She understood that she thought I was poor enough to stand while she ate. The kids are crying. They don't understand why they can't go to the lake. Then Victoria can explain what happens when you teach children that some people are worth less than others. Angela, please. Dad, you told me to stand at the lunch table. Your daughter told me I was beneath them, and you agreed. He was quiet for a long time. I thought they were kidding. They weren't, and neither were you. You believed it. Just for a moment, you believed I was the poor relation who should know her place. I'm sorry, I know, but the houses stay locked. 6 months later, I sold the lake house. The new owners were a lovely couple from the city. Victoria found out through social media when the new owners posted pictures. She called me for the first time in months. You sold our lake house? I sold my lake house. But the memories, the kids' summers, the family tradition of teaching your daughter to tell me to stand while you ate, that tradition? She hung up. I kept the mountain cabin and the beach house, started renting them out properly, full-time, good income. And I bought a 4th property, a ski chalet in Vermont. Beautiful, modern, expensive. Just for me. No family keys, no shared access, no assumptions of ownership, just my name on the deed, and my rules about who sits and who stands. Turns out everyone sits at my table. Because I own the table and the house it's in, all of them.